Right. All right, all right, all right. Hello, 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 y'all. Oh, let me turn this down real quick. My bad. Hold on. Let me turn this down. Let me turn this down real quick. My bad. Hold on. Let me turn this down. Okay. All right, y'all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, Instagram, Facebook, we are live. And as a matter of fact, Instagram, unless you're going to be joining me in my steaming circle, meaning you're going to be steaming with me tonight and you want to go live with me while I'm here, then I would highly recommend that you go to Facebook because the experience may just be a little bit better there. And then also the Facebook video is going to make it to YouTube as well, okay? So I did have some ladies that were interested in circle. If you don't know what that is, I'm going to explain it out to you. But first, damn, where are my manners? Hey, okay, let me introduce myself for the people that don't know. Okay, I am Montana, Madam Bay, affectionately called here at Sweet Kitty Club. I am a certified herbalist and Yoni steam practitioner. And y'all, I love making film care products and providing womb wellness services. Some of my bays have been like calling me their kitty coach, like for real, okay? And I love it, okay? So that is real cool. So that's who I am. And also, just in case if you didn't know, also real quick on Instagram because it's always a problem with Instagram, okay? Instagram, can y'all hear me? Because I want to make sure that you can hear me on Instagram. And if you're having any problems hearing me on Facebook, you can comment, let me know, or whatnot. But Instagram, can you hear me? I want to make sure you can hear me. Will someone comment and let me know if they can or cannot hear me? I would really appreciate it. If you cannot hear me on Instagram, then I'm going to suggest you go to Facebook. So I'm going to give somebody a moment. Can you hear me on Instagram? Okay. So somebody, I see some people there. I'm just wanting someone to comment. Let me know. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Anyway, I know I'm looking crazy on Facebook. Like, what? Anyway, y'all. So I am, like I said, I am a certified herbalist and I am a Yoni practitioner. And just so y'all know, before we go another further, a couple of things. Number one, if my face look a little ashy today, it's because I had washed my face with the detox bar before I left, and I did not wash it off. So I'm just letting it sit in because I have a date tonight. Okay. So can you hear me? I see Koo is on here. Koo, can you hear me? If you cannot hear me, then go to Facebook, please, because yeah, just go to Facebook for me. So anyway, that's one thing. If I look a little crusty, it's because I don't let the soap dry in, okay? And then two is I think I'm funny, okay? My kids, they don't think so, but I think I'm funny. So, you know, sometimes I like to, throw in a little joke here and there, but like don't pay me any mind because it's just part of my personality, okay? While I do take being an herbalist and a Yoni practitioner very serious, I don't take myself so serious all the damn time. And you shouldn't either, okay? So just know that about me. Okay, Instagram is always tripping. So I'm really feeling like, cool, can you hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? Okay? If you cannot hear me, please go to Facebook. I'm gonna type it in. Because the reason why I'm asking that is I'm seeing people come in and out. So it's making me think that they cannot hear me. Okay, so because they're going on Facebook. So if you cannot hear me, let me know. I don't want to I know you can hear me here on Facebook, but cool, you were on Instagram. Could you hear me on Instagram? So cool came from Instagram, then went on Facebook. And if she couldn't hear me on Instagram, then I'm going to have to turn off Instagram and just focus on the Facebook. She said, I can hear you clearly. I know, but you're watching me on Facebook. When you were on Instagram, because I saw you had popped on Instagram and joined it, could you hear me on Instagram? She said she can hear me clearly, so I'm taking it that you are referring to no, it was low. She said no, it was low. Okay. So let's see if I can help that situation for the people who are going to be coming on Instagram, because I did have some ladies that said that they wanted to join me. So how about we do this? Okay? We can put you right there, Instagram. That's not going to work. It's not going to work. I tell you what, I'm sorry, we're not going to take up any more time, but no, I don't want to do that. We're not going to take up any more time, but I just want to do this. If you were wanting to join our sister, dang, this makes me so mad. If you were wanting to join me for the sister circle tonight, we're having problems with Instagram, so you have to go to Facebook. Just search Sweet Kitty Club on Facebook. We're live, okay, and join in the conversation. I did add a link before this video. Let me see if I still got the link. Sorry. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. Like I said, we don't want to take up a lot of time because I got a date tonight. So, okay, we got to get this party started. So, again, I just want to start over. I'm Montana, herbalist, Yoni practitioner. And for those who may not know this, you may know me from some of the favorite products that you like to purchase from Sweet Kitty, like the Honey Baby and the Magical Unicorn soap. But actually, before making products, I started making Yoni V-Steam blends, okay? So I want to get my music back on since I can't use Instagram. So I started making Yoni V-Steam blends primarily for women like myself who have sensitive kitties and I just was not finding the products that I wanted that worked best for me. So I decided to make those products by way of the Yoni soaps. But like I said, it first started with the V Steam blends because y'all know how good it is. I mean, it is a life changer, okay? Definitely a life changer for me. I started sharing it with my kids, my friends, my sister, my cousins, everybody. You know, I was giving those V-Steam blends away. And the reoccurring thing that people would keep asking me is, I love this feeling. How can we keep it going? How can that feeling, like that fresh, clean feeling, how can we, elevate it? And so that is where the products came into place. But I just wanted to let y'all know that. Another thing that I do get asked a lot is who can steam. I do have my notes here because I want to make sure I'm touching everything and we're doing everything with intention because we know today, I just want a side note. This is November the 11th, which, the 1111 is a very supercharged, powerful portal in the spiritual realm. And so I'm a very spiritual person. I do believe in manifestation. And I thought this would be a great time to also V-Steam. And while doing this with you guys, I wanted to just kind of educate you a little bit too. So, Instagram kind of threw me off with my whole little spiel, but I'm trying to get back on track with it, okay? So now, one of the questions that I do get asked a lot is who can steam? And honestly, whoever has a vagina can steam, okay? Even the ones that don't. We're going to get to the ones who, we're going to get to that, okay? So definitely, if you have a vagina, no matter what your age is, if your daughter, your teen daughter or young daughter has started her cycle, she is definitely a candidate at that time for a V-Steam. And even all the way through menopause, even if you've had a hysterectomy or you no longer have a cycle, you're still a great candidate for V-Steam because there are so many beneficial properties to doing a Yoni steam, okay? Also, for men, we do have men that are great candidates too for steaming. We won't call it V steaming. We'll just call it for a steam. And for men and women, steaming does help with hemorrhoids. So if you have hemorrhoid issues, definitely helps with that. And it also provides prostate therapy for men. So great for men, for to do as a couple, all of that, no problem. All right. Now, who can't steam? Now, if you are pregnant, you can't steam. Okay, you cannot steam while you're pregnant. I have heard of some cases where at the end of the pregnancy, if you are over your due date, that you may try a steam because that may help loosen your cervix. However, we ain't doing that. Okay. So no steaming if you're pregnant. Also, no steaming if you are breastfeeding. And lastly, no steaming under no circumstances, only special circumstances, which should be suggested and administered by a Yoni practitioner, is no steaming while you're on your cycle. That could be a bad thing, baby. Don't do it. Okay. And then when is a good time to steam? I get that asked a lot too. So a good rule of thumb is if you have an active cycle, then you would want to steam 5 days before your cycle and 3 days after your cycle. That way, if you do have painful periods like cramping, bloating, blood clotting, you are basically being, very proactive about blocking that pain, okay? So you're getting in front of your cycle and then also at the end. So that's really important. So before your cycle, it's going to help increase the circulation in your uterus, which that is the main reason why you would experience cramping during your cycle. And then at the end is going to help remove any old blood that did not come down during your cycle, as well as provide you with a cleanse. Okay. All right. Now, Why the sister circle? Okay, what this is, and this is a name, y'all. This is still a work in progress. Okay, this name is still a work in progress, y'all. We gonna pray about it. I'm calling it the sister circle. I was like a steaming circle, sister circle. I don't know, but it's a circle. Okay, and basically what I wanted to do was to be able to provide a support system to my bays that are purchasing our products, because maybe we've been making the steam blends and our Yoni products now for close to 3 years. And at the start of it, there was a wave about self care. And maybe you jumped on that wave, you know, not really knowing what to do or where to go. So I felt like, you know what? I don't want to leave. If you are committed to, being on this journey, because it is definitely a lifestyle, much like, even, me starting my locks. It's a journey. It is a self-discovery, that we go through. And so if you are wanting to be committed to that, I want to commit myself to you and helping you along that journey. And sometimes sometimes you do have to go alone. Sometimes you can't take nobody with you and you got to just go through your shit by yourself. And sometimes it feels good to know you're not by your damn self, okay? And so this is one of those times. This is one of those situations that I don't want you to feel alone. Like, what should I be doing? How should I be, how should I do this? I want to help you through that, because when I started my personal journey, I didn't know it all. I still don't know it all. I'm still learning along the way. But I did have people along the way that kind of showed me and guided me. So I want to be able to pay that forward. So that is what the sister circle is. Okay. And now let's get down to, do we need for your V-steam? Very simple. So the requirements of a Yoni steam is going to be earth, water, and fire. So earth, our herbs. So let's see. I'm sorry. I got a fancy thing over here that I have. So herbs would be our Yoni herbs here. So these are herbs, and the herbs that I'm going to use for our steam. Also, if you are joining me this evening for Sister Circle for your steam, then go ahead and start boiling your water if you have not already done that. I should have told you that at the beginning of this live, that if you've not started boiling your water, do that now, because we're going to go basically through a step by step. And like I said, you're going to get to see me do it. So these are my herbs. And I just want to just kind of give you a close up. These are not powder, okay? So these are herbs. And this blend that I'm showing you is my disinfectant blend. This is my favorite blend, and you can use whatever blend that is going to suit your needs and based on, the concerns that you have for your uterus. Like I told you guys, my kitty, she real sensitive, okay? And so because of that, you can blow on her, baby, and she is like looking like, uh-oh, what's finna happen? What you finna, what? Like we on standby. So I like, she said she's utilizing the hydrate blend tonight. Oh, awesome. Awesome. Okay, I'm seeing the comments too, y'all. Even if I'm a little slow, I am seeing the comments. I didn't get to catch her name because it popped up so fast. But she said she's using hydrate. So cool. Also, let me put this down real quick, because I meant to grab something that I did not grab. I had put all my tools out, but it was two things I was missing. So let me grab this real quick. So thank you for reminding me about the blends that you're using. So she says she's using hydrate. I'm using disinfect. And just FYI, you guys, just FYI for the V-Steam blend, Um, these are our regular packs here, and you get 5 steam packs in each bag. So that can last you potentially if you're steaming at least twice a month, which is steaming once a month is good. Steaming great. Okay, so if you're steaming, she says she's using the fresh blend. That's what's up. Hey. But if you are steaming twice a month, this will last you 2.5 months. Now, if you keep Kitty busy like me, and you know that you can, because we do know that we can steam before and after sex, then that pack might not last you too long. But hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm not here to judge. So these are our packs that we're using. Okay, so our kitty packs. And like I said, for me, I'm going to use our disinfectant blend. My water has already started boiling while I was waiting. So I'm just going to go ahead and add my herbs. Now, before I add my herbs, I want to say, where's the camera? Is this thing on? Let me say this real quick. Because I do understand there are a lot of Yoni there are a lot of people. One thing that we definitely want to make sure that you understand is that some of these blends are not blended right. And the reason, there are some herbs that overlap each other, and there are also some herbs, some herbs you may need, for a personal blend, I may just need a tablespoon of, and another herb may only need a teaspoon of it. So you want to really be careful that you are, reading the reviews, you know, I'm seeing people, doing a cup of herbs, like all of these herbs, a lot of herbs. This is literally a fourth a cup of herbs. There is a fourth cup of herbs in each of the tea bags in our bee steam packs, and are a little bit more than a fourth cup. That's all you need. If you do not have our Sweet Kitty herbs tonight, no problem. Let me tell you, you can go right into your kitchen and grab some oregano herbs. You can get a fourth cup of oregano herbs and add it to a pot of steaming water. That is also great. And oregano is also included in our disinfectant blend because it is a great preventative for yeast. Okay, so like I said, I've already started boiling my water, so I'm just going to add my herbs in here. And while my herbs are seeping, I'm going to go back to my notes. Okay, so we are using our. Also, I want to make note that we are using a stainless steel bowl. I do know if you guys are day ones, we did used to sell the plastic bowls, so I'm not going to judge anybody. You got to do what you got to do. Just make sure if you're using a plastic sitz bath type of bowl for your steaming that you see on Instagram, TikTok, or whatnot. If you're using that, just make sure you're not adding your water to that bowl while it's piping hot, because plastic, even when it's heated, even though it says it's BPA free, you don't want it to get too hot because it does release chemicals. Okay, so this is why we recommend using a stainless steel bowl, because it's more hygienic. Okay, all right, so we are also, I have my socks on, you guys, so you want to keep something on your feet. If you don't have a gown like the one that I have on right now, you can get a throw towel. You can get a towel or a throw blanket to wrap around you doing your steam. And that's that. So while we're doing that, I want to prepare our space. So I'm just going to light 2 of my favorite incense. And I'm going to put them in the incense holders. Okay. And then secondly, I'm going to take my sage stick, just light it a little bit, and I'm going to smudge my space. And we just do this so you can call it smudging, saging, cleansing, but basically this is to remove negative energy. Okay? So this is to remove negative energy. Now, one thing that we see people doing a lot is they do sage. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. One second. Before I talk about that, I'm gonna turn my heat down. I'm gonna turn my heat down, and then I'm gonna place my box. So this is our Sweet Kitty Yoni box. So these are 100% pine, handmade. And I've been having my box now for close to 3 years, so it has held up for me mighty nicely. So back to the saging. So we see people saging, that is great because you are removing the negative energy. But one thing we also have to do is, wow, ain't that something? Look at that. Just put out my light. Just put out my light. Okay, so one thing that is important is also, okay, what is going on with you? No. Okay. Is I don't know if this is gonna work now that dipped it in the thing. Is also, I'm sorry, I talked to myself. Is also using Palo Santo, which brings in positivity. So when you use your sage stick, you are removing negativity. When you are using your Palo Santo, you are bringing in positive. You are removing negativity with sage. You're bringing in positivity with Palo Santo. Okay, and these smell so good. Then also what I have set up prior to what I also have set up prior to is my space. So that is going to include my crystals. So I have crystals here. I have a rose quartz for love. I have my aventurine for prosperity. And I cannot pronounce this one all right all the time, so I'm not going to even try. Okay, not tonight. Okay, I'll tell y'all later. But I can feel my box is warm. Oh, and I also have a bottle of water here because we want to stay hydrated. Okay. So, okay, we prepared our space. And while we are letting our herbs seep, I also want to discuss real quick of what you should be doing while you are doing your steam. Okay, so this is also very important as well. So during the time, and I always tell my ladies, when we're steaming, unless you are steaming for a issue that requires you to steam for more than 30 minutes, we don't steam for more than 30 minutes. Okay, so steaming time is going to be for 30 minutes, and during that time, don't be on your phone. Don't be, looking at the blogs. Don't be doing any of that. It is a time for you to basically center yourself. So, what should you be doing? You should be meditating. You could be doing candle gazing. You could be doing journaling, and you can just relax. Okay, that's it. All right, now today's option would be for you to either journal or to meditate while we're doing our steam session today. For me, I'm going to meditate. If you would like to journal, go ahead and grab your notepad, your pen, and or your favorite journal, and come on back because we're about to get started. Okay? All right. Now, I'm going to turn off my light so I can set my mood. And I am going to sit on my throne. Okay. Now, as we center ourselves on our throne, okay, we want to focus on our breathing, okay, so that is very important. So at this time, well, I'll give you a moment if everyone is ready, or the ladies that are going to be steaming with us, I'll give you guys a couple of minutes to I'll give you a couple of minutes to get seated and situated, and then we'll get started. And you know what I'm going to do real quick? I'm so glad I just realized to turn my... I feel like it could be just a little warmer. So I'll give you a couple of minutes to get situated, and then we'll get started on the guided meditation. Okay. So ladies, are we ready? Or does anyone need any additional time? If you do, I am looking at the comments. So if you need additional time, just let me know. Okay, so what I want you to do first is we're going to focus on our breathing. So if you would close your eyes, inhale through your nose, joy, abundance, gratitude, and exhale through your mouth, emotions and thoughts that no longer serve you. So we're going to breathe in joy, guidance, and abundance. I'm sorry, joy, abundance, and guidance. Breathe out emotions and thoughts that no longer serve you. Breathe in joy, abundance, and gratitude. Breathe out emotions and thoughts that no longer serve you. Keep your eyes closed. Breathe in joy, abundance, and gratitude. Breathe out emotions and thoughts that no longer serve you. Okay, so if you are deciding to journal during your V-STEAM session tonight, then your journal prompt is to write a letter to a thing or things that no longer serve you. So if you're journal prompting with us, or you're going to be writing in your journal for this evening session, the journal prompt is to write a letter to a thing or things that no longer, you're going to write a goodbye letter. I'm sorry, a goodbye letter to the to the thing or things that no longer serve you. I hope I didn't confuse you. I'm sorry. So if you need to gather your thoughts, what is that thing or things that you need to say goodbye to? Write it in a letter. If you're not going to be journaling with us and you're going to be meditating like me, then I'm sorry, if you're meditating, focus on your breathing and imagine that with each breath that you take, there is a warm, bright light that is guiding your path. Okay? So if you're meditating, you're not going to be journaling. Meditating your thoughts on a warm, bright light that is there to guide your path. And this is a great So again, if you're journaling with us, then you're going to be writing a goodbye letter to the thing or things that no longer serve you. If you're meditating, then you, in your thoughts, are imagining a bright light, a warm, bright light that is there to guide you. Okay. If you're still journaling, that's fine. If you're still meditating, continue to do that. We're going to steam for about 5 more minutes and we will be done. And we can use these last few minutes. I'm sorry, one thing we should do while we are steaming is we have to stay hydrated. Anytime you're steaming or doing a detox, you must stay hydrated. We do not serve, though you may see alcohol in our parlor, we don't serve alcohol during steaming because it contradicts what we're doing. Okay, so if you go to those places that allow you to drink alcohol while you're steaming, that's cool, that's them, but we ain't doing that. Okay? We can get lit after. And I just want to say that, today, as we've, like I said, been hearing about 1111 just being a powerful portal for the spiritual world to manifest. Your thoughts, your words, they matter. Show some grace to yourself. This is me also talking to myself because I need to show grace to myself, okay? Because even, the words that you speak over yourself, they matter. So let's make sure we're intentional for the rest of the day. If you have not already been, about your thoughts and your words. And during these last couple of minutes while we're steaming, this is a great time. As we know, 1111 is a reset. So this is a great time to release.
Do what you have to do. Say what you have to say. Feel your heart and trust your soul.
Okay. So we are wanting to release the negativity, reset to a positive mindset. Okay.
All the love you see, it is right there at your feet.
All right. I was just looking at a couple of the comments. Thank you, ladies, that that have joined us tonight for our steaming circle. This was a lot of fun. I was really nervous about this because I have not done something like this in quite some time. But as I said, I want to support you guys more. And I want to be also transparent and visible in what I'm doing as well. So maybe it could help someone be committed to their journeys. So I do appreciate each of you that are joining us tonight. This is something that I'm definitely going to do more often. My plan was to do this on Instagram Live so that I could bring some of you ladies into my live so that our audience could see not just me, but also you doing it as well. So I hate that we were not able to get Instagram working, but I did get to bring out my little fancy camera here for Facebook. So I don't know, this may work. I even thought about if YouTube would be a better venue for something like this, where we could do a YouTube live and that way bring everybody there. So I don't know if Facebook works. We'll keep it here on Facebook. If not, let me know. I'm open to some suggestions. Like I said, I wanted to do it in a way where I could bring you guys in as well. If you were wanting to do that so that y'all can share as well. We are sisters, so I wanted to not just be focused on me. Like, I'm doing this. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do this. I want to hear about your journey. I want to hear what's going on with you. Y'all sick of hearing about me. We want to hear about somebody else, okay? So that didn't work out. But anyway, I hope this did work out for you. And if you are needing to re-up on your steaming products, you can get a sweet little discount on our V-Steam packs if you need our packs. If you need the bowl set, detox kit, even this pine box I'm sitting on, not this one, this is mine, yours will be new. And if you are not a good candidate for V-Steaming, then you can try our bath salts, which is great for a spiritual bath or a hip bath, okay? So you can use code CIRCLE at checkout and take advantage of those sweet discounts. And what else did I need to say? And we're going to be back here doing this again. So, like I said, I wanted to be able to show up for y'all, to like really show up, and so that we can all, not just me, because I have been on my manifestation. Sometimes I be talking fast. My manifestation game. Okay, I have been on it, and so I want y'all to be on it with me as well. So I am committed to doing this twice a month. We are going to do new moon, full moon. So this week we did have a new moon. While we did not do a live during our new moon, we did do a new moon steam. We did have 3 ladies that were here in our lady parlor in our garden that was steaming with us with guided meditation. With my girl Lotus J. So that was really cool. She's a spiritual coach, and she and I have been talking about doing some oracle pools too. So maybe we'll be doing that in the future. But anyway, we did that this past, I believe the 8th was Tuesday. That is when we did new moon. And then also here we are today because for the 11/11. So we'll be back on the 23rd of November for we came Tuesday for our full moon. So we did a full moon ritual for release. And then we're here doing another release. And then on the 23rd of November, we're going to do the new moon energy. So there will be new moon energy. I have some ideas of things that I want to do during that time. So that is on a Wednesday before Thanksgiving. So hopefully we can get back here and do this again. So like I said, twice a month we'll do new moon, full moon. And yeah, does anyone have any questions? If you do not have any questions, how we will end our steam session. So you just, again, we want to focus on our breathing, inhaling through our nose, exhaling through our mouth, center our thoughts. One of the things that you may notice, just a couple of things after V-steaming is, number one, you are going to be extremely moist. Yes, that is normal. That is the steam, honey, working its way. Now, will you be moist? Will V-steaming help, make a dry situation a little bit nicer? Yes, it does. Okay. One of the things, though, that we may see after V-steaming, because one of the myths is that V-steaming will give you a yeast infection. Water and steam will not give you a yeast infection. During the V-steaming process, the steam is helping to dissolve the mucus in your uterus. So if there was yeast that was already present in your body, so for my girls that are prone to BV or yeast infections, if you are prone to BV and yeast infections, there may be yeast that is already present in your body. And when you have a vaginal steam, that is dissolving the mucus, which means that discharge is going to come out. It's got to come out. It's going to come down. The V steam is helping it to release. So when it comes down, there may be irritation once it touches your skin. Okay, so that is quite normal. As a matter of fact, if that happens, great. Then we know that the detox did what it was supposed to do. So you want to just give it a couple of days. And if one of the things that you can also find relief with, if you are having any kind of irritation vaginally, whether it is from yeast or for sometimes, man, you be going and going and going, rubbed it on some concrete. You need the bath salts. So you can just soak in our bath salts. Um, that will definitely give you some relief, as well as a few drops of Yoni oil. Okay, so that is one myth that we want to crush. V-steam is not going to give you a yeast infection. And then also, you may experience a little bit of cramping after your V-steam. What is happening there is, again, during the V-steaming process, your uterus is contracting. So, because this steam is helping to improve your circulation, push stagnant energy out, so therefore you may have cramping after steaming. And also, good to know, I did say it at the beginning of this video, you can steam before and after sex. Like I said, I have a date tonight. Hey. So yeah, if it's your first time steaming, oh, my little light went out. If it's your first time steaming, then I would say give it, 48 hours before you put it back out there, because you just want to make sure there were no contradictions during your steam, okay? Let me turn on my light real quick. Not show y'all all my business when I do it. Okay? So, yes. That is that. And then real quick, what I want to show you guys. So what I like to do when I'm done, let me see, I got a good look at this. Okay. So what I like to do when I'm done, here is my pot of herbs. I'm just going to take these herbs and I'm going to go into the sink, empty my herbs into my strainer so that it catches my herbs, and I'm going to dispose of my herbs back into the earth. So what does that mean? Just go outside, toss them in the yard. Sometimes I toss them over the neighbor's fence if I'm at home, because they don't never cut their damn trees. They don't never damn get their leaves up, so they getting this, okay? So sometimes I do that. And if you don't have a yard or a place to toss your herbs outside, then you can also just put them in the trash. And there you go with that. So, thank you, ladies, again for joining me tonight for my steaming session. I am going to clean up, get out of here. Today, as you know, USPS was closed for the holiday. So we will resume our shipping on Monday. So if you have not ordered, then now is the time to go ahead and do that. Of course, if you are new to the Kitty Club, you can use Shop 15 and get 15% off your first order. If you are ordering any of the products for a steam session, for our Sister Circle session, you can use code CIRCLE at checkout and get a sweet discount, okay? And then also, I'll be putting out some information this week because I do want to kind of keep us together. So if we're going to be on Facebook or wherever we're going to be, I want to kind of put us in a group or put us in a centralized location. So I'm going to be kind of thinking of that because, like I said, I want to be committed to this and I want you guys to be committed as well. All right. So I'm going to just check Facebook real quick and just see if we have any comments. And if not, we are going to go. But y'all let me know how you feel this went for you tonight. You know, if this is something that you want to see happen on a regular basis or, you know, like Montana, we could have did without it. I could have had my Friday night. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Okay, just Miss Brenda, she said that it sounds relaxing and I look so baby I was. It was very relaxing. Brenda, if you have not got on, if you're not a steaming sister, honey, you need to get on the bandwagon, okay? All right. So thank you ladies again for joining me. And we'll see this video on YouTube. I'll also upload it to our Instagram. Missed it there can see it, okay? Thank y'all again. If you have any questions, just hit me up in my inbox or go to sweetkittyclub.com. You know, you can chat with me directly on the website. I love y'all. Bye.